Hi guys, my name's Alana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Mental Health with Alana. If you're new here, please press the red subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to press the bell notification so you know every time I post a video. If you'd like to check out my Instagram, I'll put it up here on the screen. I post mental health and chronic illness related content. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about chronic fatigue and mobility aids and whether you should use a walker or a wheelchair. So for me personally, I have a few mobility aids. I've got 2 walkers, a electric wheelchair, and a few walking sticks. So the reason why I have these different mobility aids is because sometimes my chronic fatigue is really bad and sometimes I need things like my wheelchair, but then other times I might not need that and I might only need a walker or a walking stick. Now, I have been using my wheelchair a lot at the moment because I've been very fatigued. But I'm going to talk about the benefits of using a wheelchair and then the benefits of using a walker. So I'll start with a walker. The benefit of using a walker for your chronic fatigue would be that it's a lot lighter than a powered wheelchair. The electric powered wheelchairs are very heavy. I cannot lift mine in the car on my own. I have to have a support worker do it for me. So that is frustrating because I can't be independent and go out by myself. I can't afford to buy a hoist. It's really expensive and my NDIS does not cover that. And yeah, that's just not affordable. So I only use the wheelchair when I have support workers. But I have support workers 4 times a week, so, and then as soon as I move out, I'll be having them 5 times a week. But I feel like the walker is easier to lift in and out of the car. It's lighter and it's more compact, so if you want to put it in the car, it's easier if you're having to lift something. Another pro about the walker is that you can choose to either walk or sit. So one of my walkers turns into a wheelchair and my other walker is just a normal walker. So with the one that turns into a wheelchair, it's handy because if I'm out and I'm like, oh, I can walk around for a while at the shops, and then I start getting really tired and fatigued, I can sit down and get my support worker to push me. And then with my other walker that doesn't have the wheelchair attachment, I take that one if I know that I'm just going to be doing short walks and I'm not needing to be like pushed around. But walkers are really great because you can slow down and you can just sit on them and have a break, which is really great when you have chronic fatigue. So you can sit down when you need to and then you can stand up and push it. And it also gives you something to hold on to, which I find really helpful because it takes a lot of your body weight off your body in a way, and you can lean on it. And it's also great for balance. If you don't have good balance, it's also really good because you're holding on to something. And it's also great because you can put your bag on your walker. One of my walkers has a little compartment underneath where you can put things. So I put my water bottle, my bag, or my coat, whatever it is, in there, and that's really good because it's like storage. Whereas with my wheelchair, which I'll move on to that in a minute, my wheelchair doesn't have any storage, so I had to buy a specific backpack that would go on the chair because I couldn't buy a normal backpack because of the way the chair is designed. And the backpack was quite expensive, but in saying that, it will last me years and it's a really good quality bag. I'm trying to think of the name of where I got it from. I'll see if I can remember and then I'll put it in the description. But yeah, this bag that I got is handmade and it's really good quality. And I just bit the bullet and went and got it because I got it actually from the UK. I had to get Lydia to send it to me, and I paid for it, but it wouldn't come to Australia because it wouldn't ship to Australia, so I had to actually get it sent to Lydia's address and then get Lydia to send it to me, and then I paid Lydia for the shipping. But yeah, it worked out fine because she was able to ship it to me. So those are some pros of using a walker. They're also known as rollators. I don't have a specific brand of walker. One is purple and then one is like my black and grey one. My black and grey one has a water cup holder, like a water bottle holder, which is really good. Whereas my wheelchair doesn't have anything like that, whereas I need to invest in some things that can go in my wheelchair. So then we got my wheelchair. My wheelchair is, again, like I said, very heavy. It does fold up quite good. It's just that it's heavy. I think it's like 24 kilos. The lithium battery in it is very heavy. So yeah, I've got my wheelchair, and I use my wheelchair if I'm going to the shops and I know that I'm having a bad chronic fatigue day and I am going to be not able to walk far, or if my legs are really hurting and feeling really trembly and weak, then I use my wheelchair. So a wheelchair is great if I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user, which means that I can still stand up. This means that I still have the freedom to walk around if I wanted to, but obviously if I'm having a bad chronic fatigue day, I do need the wheelchair. The wheelchair is really great though, because you can go for a lot longer than when you use a walker, because you're sitting down the whole time, so you can go like and do more things. You have more freedom because you actually have more, you're saving a lot more energy, which I find. And when my legs are really weak and trembly and sore and my balance is unstable, the wheelchair is really good. And it's electric powered. It's so good. The battery lasts for ages, and it is just pretty good wheelchair. It was an amazing wheelchair. Quite expensive, but you know, that's just unfortunately how mobility aids are. They cost a lot of money. I don't want to add up all the money I've spent on mobility aids. It's a lot. Yeah. So the wheelchair is really good if you want to be more independent, and you feel like you need that, what's the word? Control and agency. So you're not being pushed by someone else. You can actually power, because it's an electric wheelchair, you can power, like use it yourself. So you feel more like you have more control over it and you're not just being pushed around, because sometimes when people push you around, you want to look at something and you can't like get to that specific spot sometimes because people are like, don't know where you want to go, and it can be a bit annoying. So I really like it with the electric wheelchair because I can just go wherever I want. The only downside to this though is that in shopping centres, most shops are not big enough for wheelchairs to fit in there. I have had a lot of instances where I've had to, luckily I can get out of my wheelchair. Some people can't. So I've had to actually get out of my wheelchair and leave it outside the shop with my support worker, or we lock it because there's an app where you can like lock it so people can't like take it. I mean, who would take a wheelchair? But you just never know, especially where I live. The crime rates are terrible where I live. Oh gosh, I still don't think anyone would take it, but you know, whatever. I just, for peace of mind, I lock it. But yeah, and also my wheelchair's been really good for when I go on holidays. we've taken it to Brisbane, me and my support worker, and I used it there, and that was really good because Brisbane has a lot of hills. Brisbane, way too many hills. I love Brisbane, but oh my gosh, the hills. It's terrible, terrible, terrible when you have chronic fatigue and you already struggle to walk. But yeah, so those are my pros and cons of using a walker / wheelchair. If you want me to make a video on the pros and cons of using a walking stick, I can do that, but I thought I'd just start with these two to begin with. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave it down below, and make sure you go check out my Instagram and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.